Your dog did something today you completely ignored. A quick glance. A tiny pause. You barely noticed. But here's the secret, those looks hold a hidden language. Over the next 7 silent messages, you'll learn to decode every stare. 3. The anticipatory gaze. You stand at the door, keys jangling, your dog stares like a hawk. It's not just excitement. Animal behaviorists say dogs scan your body language to predict your next move. They notice the shift in your posture, the lift of your eyebrows, the subtle turn of your head. That stare is their way of hacking your routine. One line of caution: if your dog locks in too intensely, it can mean they're feeling anxious about change. A soft blink from you can reset them. Without those little signals, they'd live in constant suspense, no knowing if you're grabbing a treat or another chore. Now you see why this look isn't begging at all, but cognitive teamwork. 4. The reassurance look. Stress rolls through you, and suddenly your dog's eyes fix on yours. Research suggests dogs mirror human emotions in deep, empathetic ways. That steady stare whispers, "I'm here. You're safe." It's co-regulation, teams of two calming each other down. One thing though, if you ignore that look when you're upset, your dog can get stuck in their own worry loop. They rely on your calm to feel calm. With that contact, they land back in neutral. Skip it, and they'll pace or pant instead. This quiet check-in is a cornerstone of your bond, yet most owners breeze right past it. 5 is next, and it flips everything you thought you knew. 5. Why does your dog lock eyes when you plate up dinner? It's not just begging etiquette. That intense food stare is a masterclass in canine communication. Instinctively, dogs learn that eye contact gets them fed, wolves stare down prey before the pounce. Behaviorists have found that when you hold their gaze over meal prep, oxytocin spikes in both of you. It's a bonding ritual disguised as appetite. One thing though, if you cave every time, you reinforce a kibble curse. Your dog learns to stare, you learn to feed on cue. Instead, set a sit-stay ritual before meals. Reward calmness, then release them to eat. Over time, that stare shifts from demand to polite permission. 6. Why does your dog fix their gaze on you the moment a stranger crosses the threshold? Believe it or not, it's pure protection mode. Pack animals monitor their alpha. Your dog sees you as top dog and feels compelled to guard your back. Research suggests dogs can detect micro-expressions of your tension, an uptick in cortisol, and answer with a watchful stare. Emotionally, they're saying, "I've got you." If you reward the look with a pat or soothing voice, you're reinforcing a vigilant watchdog. One line of caution: unchecked, it can morph into reactivity. Introduce controlled greetings, teach "look at me," and gradually reduce the intensity. For a deep dive on protective body language and guided exercises, check out the full chapter at theticbook.store/n. 7. Why does your dog beam that playful stare the second you drop your bag at the door? That's an invitation to romp. It goes beyond wagging, it's a spotlight on your hands, your feet, your entire posture. Game on. Evolutionarily, play kept wolf pups coordinated and social. Science tells us that anticipatory play sparks dopamine, adrenaline, even endorphins, turning your reunion into a rush. Emotionally, they're bridging the hours you were apart. One thing though, if you ignore that gesture, your dog will invent mischief of their own, chewed shoes or overturned trash. Instead, establish a 2-minute welcome ritual, grab a toy, engage in a quick toss session, then settle into calm. That simple exchange cements your role as play partner and leader. 8. Why does your dog stare blankly at you when there's nothing to do? It's not guilt over muddy paws, it's boredom in action. Dogs crave mental workouts, and when you're absorbed in your own world, their mind goes idle. Animal cognition experts describe this as seeking stimulation stare, a silent plea for puzzles or sniffing games. Emotionally, your dog is saying, "Fill my day with purpose." One catch: passive dogs can slip into anxiety or even depression. The cure: rotate enrichment toys, short scent hunts in the yard, or simple hide-and-seek. You'll find detailed enrichment blueprints at theticbook.store/n, no gimmicks, just science-backed ideas. Give them an outlet, and that vacant gaze transforms into bright, eager eyes. And don't forget, number 9 is the one that changes everything. Stay with me. 9. Why does your dog fix their gaze the instant you reach for the leash? It's not impatience or hunger. It's a silent contract of trust. In wolf packs, locking eyes before a hunt cements cooperation. Modern dogs revive that ritual. When you look back, you're agreeing to guide them safely. Behavior experts note that this leash gaze spike actually lowers stress hormones in both of you. Emotionally, they're saying, "I'm ready when you are." One thing though, if you rush past that moment, you rob them of confidence. Instead, pause, meet their stare, and use a calm, "let's go" cue before clipping on. That pause becomes a powerful signal, leadership wrapped in affection. 10. Why does your dog hold a steady stare when you start your morning coffee routine? This one changes how you see their habits. Your coffee ritual releases patterns of scent, sound and movement they recognize instantly. That early stare is them lining up their internal clock to yours, syncing their day to your schedule. Science tells us dogs pick up on minute changes in your breathing and facial muscles. They're basically timekeepers in fur coats, helping you stick to routines. If you reward that morning look with a gentle, "good morning," and a brief walk, you reinforce harmonious rhythms for both of you. Skip it, and your dog may improvise. I'm talking early wake-up yips or door scratching. Give them that small acknowledgement, and their quiet gaze blooms into calm cooperation for the rest of the day. 11. Why does your dog cock their head so far to one side when you speak? Here's the part that surprises people. It isn't just cuteness, it's a decoding tool. Dogs have asymmetrical ears and a wildly sensitive inner ear system. Tilting that head shifts the oracles, letting them zero in on subtle shifts in your pitch and cadence. Think of it like moving a satellite dish for clearer reception. Emotionally, they're saying, "I'm listening, and I need every detail." Animal behaviorists note this tilt also helps them see your face around the jowls and muzzle. One thing though, if you rush past that moment or pull the leash, you break their focus. Instead, pause, give a soft, "yes," and watch the tilt turn into a confident connection. Reward it, and you'll find your clear cues land faster every time. 12. Why does your dog follow you into the bathroom? Stay with me, it's not just separation anxiety. Centuries ago, canines guarded their pack's most vulnerable moments. Even today, they feel compelled to protect you when you're off guard. Instinct blends with genuine curiosity, the whir of the fan, the echo of dripping water, every scent shift tells them something about your state. Research suggests this bathroom buddy behavior actually regulates their own stress hormones. If you close the door, they'll whine or scratch because they're cut off from the safety of your scent field. One line of caution though, if it tips into obsessive circling, offer a chew toy at the threshold or teach a "wait" command. There's a whole chapter on this in theticbook.store. Check out the separation rituals section to turn that follow into friendly patience. 13. Why does your dog stare at you when you're glued to your phone? You've probably felt that tiny nudge of guilt. Here's why it matters. Your pup reads micro-expressions and minute posture changes. Those slumped shoulders and flickering thumbs signal distraction. To them, you're a pack member who just went mute. They stare to recruit you back into the social loop. Science shows dogs have mirror neurons that sync with ours. When they see your attention slip, they bias their gaze to recapture it. Emotionally, they're saying, I need you here with me. One thing though, ignoring them can reinforce frantic demand barking later. Instead, try designated tech-free intervals. Set a timer for 5 minutes of pure dog focus. Their stare then becomes a warm invitation, not a complaint. 14. Why does your dog stare so intently while you're cooking? This one changes the kitchen game. Your chopping board, sizzling pan and aroma trails create a scent map in their nose-brain network. They're tracking every spice particle, predicting which drops of tasty bits might land in their bowl. But it's more than food obsession, it's a ritualized hunt strategy passed down from wolves. Research indicates that dogs' insular cortex lights up with anticipation when they watch meal prep. Emotionally, they're saying, I trust you to provide, and I'm on standby. One line of caution, staring without feedback can lead to counter-surfing attempts. Instead, designate a locale chew mat or a frozen puzzle treat in the corner. They learn their calm gaze earns a positive diversion. For deeper tactics on setting up those kitchen boundaries, you'll find a detailed module over at thedbook.store. No miracle cures, just proven routines that work. 15. Why does your dog lock eyes with you just before you settle in for the night? This last stare is packed with layers. As dusk falls, pack leaders often share a final check-in. Your dog's quiet gaze scans your body language for signs of fatigue or tension. It's a silent all's well inspection before they tuck in for the night. Science light snippet: dogs' oxytocin levels spike during sustained eye contact in low light, deepening that bond. Emotionally, they're saying, I've got your back, now let's rest. One thing though, if you brush them off with, go to your bed, you miss a chance to reinforce trust. Instead, take 2 seconds to stroke their shoulder and use a consistent bedtime cue. That brief ritual turns the stare into a peaceful transition. And if you think this late-night connection is special, wait until you see what Section 4 has in store. Item 16 flips everything you thought you knew about playtime signaling. 16. Why does your dog stare at you and give a tiny nip whenever you pull out that squeaky ball? It sounds like rude play, but here's the part that surprises people. That little mouthing is actually an ancestral play invitation. Your dog is saying, let's team up, using wolf pack ritual. Animal behaviorists have observed that a playful nip triggers a dopamine surge, lighting up your dog's reward centers faster than a simple bark. Emotionally, it translates to, I trust you enough to share my most prized game. One thing though, if you shoo them away, you break that bond. Next time, respond with a clear, play, cue, lock eyes, then chase or toss. You'll turn confusion into a shared ritual in seconds. 17. Why does your dog lock eyes with you while crunching on their favorite chew toy? You might think they're guarding it. In reality, most dogs view you as their ultimate safety net. That calm, level stare is a subtle check-in, are we cool with this? Researchers note that dogs evolved to monitor the expressions of their human partners before indulging in prized resources. Emotionally, they're seeking your silent nod of approval. Here's the catch: if you ignore them, they may grow insecure or even hoard food. Instead, casually wink or offer a soft, good, in a low voice. For a full breakdown of resource sharing protocols, head over to thedbook.store and explore the resource guarding chapter. No quick fixes, just step-by-step routines. 18. Why does your dog stare at the fridge door instead of the fridge itself? Watch next time you stand there. Your dog has learned that the fridge door is the real portal, because it signals your movement and the promise of treats. Canine cognition experts explain that dogs build mental maps where doors, not rooms, predict outcomes. Your dog's hippocampus lights up each time you touch that handle. Emotionally, it's a hopeful, please, glance. One line of caution: if you cave in every time, you turn that stare into a demanding ritual. Instead, introduce a stay or off cue before you open it. That simple boundary keeps you in control and avoids a lifetime of fridge-side pleading. 19. Why does your dog stare at you so intently during grooming sessions? Many owners assume their pup is just being patient. The truth is, grooming taps into deep vulnerability. Hands and fur mimic a mother's delicate care. Dogs stare wide-eyed to read your facial cues, using your calm expression to regulate their own stress. Behaviorists report that mutual gaze during touch spikes oxytocin for both of you. Emotionally, your dog is asking, is this safe? One thing though, an abrupt averted glance can spike anxiety. Keep your gaze soft, speak in a soothing tone, and work in short, positive bursts. For more detailed grooming step-by-step guides, peek at the grooming protocols over on theticbook.store. No miracle cures, just proven routines. 20. Why does your dog stare at you and whine at the door first thing in the morning? It's not just to rush out, it's their way of rallying you as pack leader. Wolves perform a dawn patrol checkpoint. Your dog's internal clock ticks up cortisol at sunrise, and they look to you for the next move. Emotionally, it's a confident, let's go do the day together. One thing though, if you drag your feet, they'll escalate. Instead, set a gentle alarm, give a calm, ready, cue, and head out together. That consistency turns a whine into a smooth morning ritual. 21. Why does your dog stare at you and then suddenly turn away? It feels like they've given up on you, but stay with me. That sudden pivot is a displacement behavior, a polite way of saying, I need a break. Dogs aren't offended, they're managing social pressure. Science light snippet: prolonged direct gaze can raise stress hormones in some breeds, so turning away is a self-soothing signal. Emotionally, they're whispering, I love you, but I need space. One thing though, chasing that gaze can overload them. Instead, acknowledge with a soft, okay, then offer a comfy bed or a favorite toy. That respect for their pause deepens trust. Stick around for section 5, where we'll unpack the final, mind-bending meanings behind your dog's gaze, some of which could completely change the way you two communicate. 22. When your dog locks eyes with you before nudging a door, they're not just begging, they're asking for permission. Stay with me. That look? It's a polite request strategy. Animal behaviorists have found dogs learn that a direct gaze at you often turns into the green light. Emotionally, it says, I trust you to decide. One thing though, constantly guessing what they want can stress you both. Instead, pair the stare with a clear cue like outside, or treat. That shared signal removes the mystery, and cuts down on anxious pacing. 23. What about that intense stare at a stranger on the street, then right back at you? Here's the part that surprises people. It's called social referencing, they're looking to you for context. Research suggests dogs mirror our facial expressions to gauge safety. They're literally scanning your reaction, good news or bad. One thing though, your own tension can feed their alarm. Instead, practice a calm, it's okay, tone and step forward confidently. If you want to dive deeper into decoding these on-the-spot glances, there's a whole chapter on social referencing waiting for you at theticbook.store. 24. Ever caught your dog staring after a scolding, head slightly tilted? That's the apology gaze. Dogs know direct eye contact can feel threatening, so they soften it with a gentle look. It's like they're saying, I get it. I'm sorry. One thing though, don't mistake it for manipulation. Emotionally, it's genuine remorse. A simple scratch under the chin and a forgiving "we're good" resets the bond much faster than a second reprimand. 25. Then there's that quiet, lingering gaze when you're just sitting together. No requests. No fear. Just connection. This is the love stare. Researchers note mutual gaze in dogs and humans boosts oxytocin, the feel-good bonding hormone. One thing though, not all dogs can hold eye contact for long. If yours looks away, it's still affection, your best friends. So next time you catch those soulful eyes, just lean in and enjoy the moment. That rough tongue is the oldest language between our two species. Every look, every blink, every sideways glance is part of a secret dialogue you're only beginning to crack. For the full guide and ebook on decoding your dog's gaze, and every single behavior they've ever thrown your way, head to theticbook.store. Which gaze does your dog use most? Tell me in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights, and share this video with one dog owner who needs to hear it. Notice how a half blink signals relaxation, almost like a sigh of contentment. That subtle flutter isn't random. It marks a moment when your pup feels safe enough to let their guard down. One thing though, if you mistake it for sleepiness, you'll miss a key chance to deepen trust. Instead, when you see that blink, pause what you're doing. Drop to their level. Smile softly. It's your cue to share calm energy. Then there's the micro stare, just a quick lock of the eyes for less than a second. It happens right before your dog bolts after a squirrel or spins to catch their leash. That flash of focus? It's their way of zeroing in on you for the next instruction. Think of it as their pointer finger, "Hey, I'm ready for you." If you ignore it, they'll improvise, often by darting off or pawing. But if you train yourself to catch that micro stare, you gain split-second control. A simple "wait" or "go on" can channel their intent into safe, predictable behavior. Finally, watch for the softened gaze paired with a yawning mouth. You might see it during play or when you end a training session. That combination is stress release and relief rolled into one. It's your dog's way of offloading tension so they can move on happily. You don't need to say anything, just offer a reassuring pat or back away peacefully. It tells them you honor their emotional reset. Mastering these gaze signals isn't about obedience. It's about fluency in a language older than any command, an unspoken conversation of eyes and hearts. The more you tune in, the clearer those silent messages become. Keep observing. Keep responding. And watch how this nonverbal dance transforms the way you and your dog move through every day together.